Well, I'm headed to the hobby shop, in this particular case, the Train Shoppe. So it's exclusively trains. Going to the hobby shop is necessary. It's like a ritual, and it's also where you're going to meet a lot of your friends and compatriots that do the same hobby as you, and that's a lot of fun. And you might run into some new product that you just can't live without. You might buy a new locomotive or whatever the heck it is that you're into. So that's pretty fun too. But the Train Shoppe is really different as train shops go, and I think you'll see what I mean when we get there.
The Train Shoppe in Salt Lake City is a really cool hobby shop. It's exclusively trains. They have all the different scales. They have a lot of deep inventory. Here you see scenery stuff, always really cool. I love doing that. And here's track. Just lots and lots and lots and lots of stuff. You can lose yourself in here. Oh, this is cool. These are called command control systems. It's a new computerized thing that's really taken over the market. It means you can have as many trains as you want to, all running on the same track, all responding to their own individual throttle, and they can make all the original sounds that the particular locomotive would make. That adds a whole new dimension to trains that I'm really getting a kick out of. Aha, but here's what makes the Train Shoppe really unique in the world of hobby shops. In the back area, they've built this western town. It's got these false front buildings. One of those is their repair facility. They do clinics back here and workshops on how to build scenery and work on trains and that kind of thing. They have party rooms. They have 2 party rooms where people can have birthday parties for kids. This is Buck, the singing deer head, hanging up on the wall in the saloon. Kids really get a kick out of having birthday parties back here. This is the Mineshaft, and down in here there are model railroad layouts. These use a coin-operated command control system. You drop a quarter in and you can now run your own train at your own speed and turn the lights on and off. It's really fun. Jeff is the kind of creator of all of this madness, and I'll let him explain it to you.
You know, it has days, it's a business, and of course businesses have their problems, but yeah, I mean, you know, who else can say, hey, I gotta go to work and play with trains all day long? I mean, I could complain about more, trust me. It's really actually been pretty fun. I think it mainly stems from trying to get little kids involved in model railroading again. We've seen a huge decline of you know, the youth and younger kids getting involved in model railroading, and unfortunately it's a great family hobby. So I don't want to see that. And so by incorporating some theme park things in the back of our store, we've been able to bring in younger kids and actually have them see the trains running and you know, show them some of the new technologies that are involved with the trains. And I think that's actually helped quite a bit in trying to, you know, get the younger audience basically interested in model railroading again, which is, again, a fantastic hobby.
The different railroads back here have different themes. There's a Harry Potter, there's a Polar Express. This particular railroad just looks like a modern freight railroad. There's narrow gauge, standard gauge, all the scales. It's just really fun to see all these different trains. This is really fun. This is an HO scale amusement park. Not everybody that models trains actually models trains. Some people are into doing circuses, and now amusement parks have really taken off as a fun thing to do. It's one of the aspects of model railroading that I really get a kick out of because it's so diverse. You can do scenery, structures, in this case an amusement park. Never mind, you can also model trains. It's just really, really fun. There is also a garden railroad back here. Garden railroads, of course, normally would be outside, but this is all inside in the kind of perpetual nighttime that goes on back here. You drop in a coin and now you can run your large-scale garden train around through kind of a simulated garden railroad. I used to have a garden railroad, and man, did I have a lot of fun with that. I am going to get back into that at some point in time. But the king of this backspace isn't the garden railroads, and it isn't really the layouts, it isn't the birthday party rooms, it's this sucker. an amusement park train, a ride-on amusement park train, and you get a little handgun that you can shoot at targets, and that causes sound effects to go off and animations to happen, and you ride around back here on a fairly long train ride. Goes all around inside the building, around the layouts and the garden railroad. The entire back area is all computer controlled. Jeff used to be a computer programming whiz-bang guy before he got hooked up in model trains, so he's designed this whole back area to run from a computer interface. It changes the lights from day to night. It runs all of the sound effects and all the little animations. It's quite an extensive computer setup that he's built. Salt Lake City's Train Shoppe is, after all, a train shop. They built this thing to sell model trains to people. But how cool is it that they've built this whole cool back area?
The Train Shoppe has actually been the Train Shoppe since 1965. It's obviously been through a couple of different locations, and it's had a couple of different owners. It's been held by a fairly close group of guys. It's actually been typically handed down or bought by customers, which I was a customer of the Train Shoppe when I actually purchased my share of the business. So it's kind of a fun, just more kind of a family, locally owned, small business.
Well, there you have it, the Train Shoppe in Salt Lake City. That's a lot of fun. And if it gets kids involved in the hobby, that's great, because it's important that somebody take over after the old geezers. Now I don't include myself in that, of course, but as the more elderly and seasoned individuals keel over and kick the bucket, somebody's got to take up this hobby and keep it going, because that's very important to those of us who live for this hobby. It's just a tragedy to think that it might die out with the old guys who are doing it. So we want to involve kids in it, and it seems to me that the Train Shoppe is doing a first-class job of doing just exactly that. Well, come on over to the channel. If you're not on the channel now, that would be YouTube, Toyman Television, or you can go to toymantelevision.com. You can like me, subscribe to the channel, go to the Facebook page, etc., etc., etc. I'm not sure how you found this movie on the internet. I sure hope you didn't find it boring. And I'll see you here again next Sunday with another fine example of screwing around. See you then.